Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, sorry my voice is a little weird. I'm not feeling good, not really sure what's happening. But anyway, point being is we have this blower here. It's a Craftsman, normal handheld. There's a million of these sold every day. So, well, I'm sure Craftsman would love that, but you know what I mean. Owner says he was using it, and then all of a sudden it started leaking fuel, and the fuel lines were busted. So he went to his local shop and gave him some fuel lines. He installed them, and now it only wants to run for like 10 seconds, if that, and it floods a lot. So I don't know if that means that he didn't install them correctly or what, but let's go ahead and take a look. Now, I did ask how long ago he was using it, and for reference, today is Wednesday, and he said he did all this last Friday. So, a couple days. Carbs shouldn't be a problem, I hope, but let's take a look. Something that does happen a lot is people kink the lines. That doesn't seem like it's the problem, though. He did also tell me he was thinking, because it was leaking, he's going to have to put silicone in there. So I'm wondering if he put silicone in and it kind of ruined it. For reference, you're not supposed to use silicone. It's just the pressure of the hole is a little bit smaller than the fuel line, kind of compresses it. That pressure keeps it from leaking. Pretty easy. Let's take a look inside. They're just all garbled up in there. No, I mean, they don't look garbled up at all, actually. I mean, it could be a little shorter, but that's really about it. Let's see. Well, I think I see the problem right now. Let's see if you can notice it too. Do you see any fuel coming out of the shorter one? No. Do you see air coming out of the longer one? Yes. He put the lines in backwards. So beware of that. When you do a fuel line replacement, I mean, the hole doesn't really matter. We're just going to flip them around. But the placement of them definitely matters. So let's get this fixed. Let's see if we can do this without taking the cover off. No, not really. It's not very easily. Air filter seems pretty decent. I know. I shouldn't be using this bit. The correct bits are, I don't know, 10 feet away. It's 10 feet. Come on now. Not made of steps. Okay. So, we need to unpressurize the tank. That could be why it was leaking too. He could just be like priming it so much and just like pressurizing the tank and just coming out of like the lid and whatnot. I question this repair shop he went to and got him this line. And unfortunately, he wasn't lucky enough to have them be kind of in the same orientation as it is on the carb. Wow, that was a big bee. Sometimes they are. And when they are, it makes it a lot easier. But can't always have that happen, I suppose. Lining this up is, there we go. You have to make sure you line up both of them before completely tightening it down. Anyway, you have to make sure you lighten up the holes in the gasket. Okay, now, before we continue, let's take a look now and see if we have fixed our problem. There it is. That's how it's supposed to work. So when you prime a carb, basically you're pulling fuel from the inlet of the carb, and you're kind of sucking it through the line, and then it kind of overfills it, and you put the excess fuel back into the tank, and that short line is the part that just puts it back in the tank, obviously. So, which brings up another conversation. If you ever have a primer bulb, like I said, you don't push fuel to the carb, you pull fuel through the carb. Always remember that. The primer bulb, the inlet on the primer bulb is the outlet of the carburetor. Do it the other way, nothing good happens. I'm going to struggle with this. Okay, so what do you think the likelihood is that we don't have to adjust the needle? I'm going to say it's pretty much none. So let's go ahead and grab a adjustment driver. Okay, found it. This one takes a splined adjustment driver. We put that on choke, or start, as this calls it. It was like a quarter of the turn out. How you know is that it was spewing out smoke. Means it's rich. Boom, done. Okay, well that's it. That was pretty easy. I was expecting to maybe have to redo a carb. I was thinking the lines were pinched or the fuel filter was plugged. But no, looks like you just put it on the wrong way. So when you're installing fuel lines, make sure to test them before you put everything back on, so you don't have to worry about this and start worrying about it. Probably what ended up happening is when he's able to get it running, he probably is holding it at an angle or something, and the fuel was actually able to touch the level, or the short line is able to touch the fuel level, and primed it. And once he starts moving it, to start turning off because the fuel level is changing. If you just always kept it full, probably wouldn't be a problem until it got to that point. It's not leaking. We should be good to go. Okay, well, this is a quick and easy one. I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe, put a thumbs up if that helped you out, because it definitely helps me out. And I'll see you in the next video. You have a good night.